Very good afternoon. This is probably the biggest number of microphones I've ever seen.
Good morning, good afternoon. This is the Secretary General of the United Nations, as you all know. He'll give a few remarks and then we'll take a number of questions. Thank you. Please go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon to all of you, distinguished members of the media. I want to begin by expressing my deep appreciation for the warm welcome I have received from all Cypriots during my first visit here. Cyprus is an island of remarkable history, rich culture, and enduring resilience. It is also a place where the beauty and potential of the present coexist with the scars of a painful past. During my visit, I've seen both. But above all, I have witnessed a deep desire among Cypriots to build a more peaceful and shared future. As Secretary General, from the earliest days of my mandate, acting in line with United Nations parameters, I have sought through my good offices to assist Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots in their efforts to reach a comprehensive, sustainable solution to the Cyprus issue. The United Nations has consistently worked toward this objective. We met in Geneva and in Crans-Montana in 2017, in Berlin in 2019, in Geneva in 2021, and again in New York and Geneva in 2024 and 2025. In this context, it was my duty to come to Cyprus to express my full solidarity with the people of Cyprus in their quest for a solution. This is the moment when all efforts must be made to rebuild trust. To that end, it is essential to redouble efforts to define and implement confidence-building measures that can make a difference in the daily lives of all Cypriots. I appeal to the two leaders to intensify these efforts. My personal envoy, Ms. Maria Angela Olgin, has been working with the parties, building on past UN efforts and what she has heard directly from Cypriots themselves. Throughout this visit, I also had the opportunity to hear from many Cypriots. Their message was clear. They want progress. They want to see their leaders make compromises and to walk that last mile towards a settlement of the Cyprus issue. They want a future in which this island is defined not by division, but by cooperation, opportunity, and peace. That was also the spirit of my frank and constructive discussions with the two leaders, both separately and together. Both Mr. Erhurman and Mr. Christodoulides assured me of their determination to continue to work in earnest with my personal envoy. Based on our discussions on the way forward, I decided that I would convene another 5+1 meeting after adequate preparations on confidence building, methodology and substance, taking into account the convergences already achieved. We will work in consultation with the two sides and the guarantors to create the conditions for the meeting's success. In relation to the situation on the ground, I'd like to emphasize the need to respect the mandatory authority of UN peacekeeping operations in Cyprus, UNFICYP, both in the buffer zone and in the UN delineated ceasefire lines. For more than 6 decades, UNFICYP has helped maintain calm and stability in a sensitive environment. Its continued effectiveness depends on the cooperation of all sides. I was impressed by the work of the Committee on Missing Persons and the remarkable bicommunal efforts to respond to the anxiety of the families of all missing persons. I was equally impressed by the work of the bicommunal technical committees that are bridging the gap between the political track and everyday citizens and finding practical solutions. And I had the opportunity to engage constructively with members of the civil society. The international community has also an important role to play on the Cyprus issue. In particular, I count on the continued support of the three guarantors, Greece, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. Finally, I wish to once again recognize the significant contributions of the UN staff of UNFICYP and my mission of good offices. They are all playing critical roles in advancing peace and stability and the prospects of a peaceful solution. I was pleased to convey my gratitude to them in person during my stay here. The United Nations cannot impose peace, but let me be very clear. The United Nations remains fully committed to supporting the people of Cyprus in this crucial moment for the island and the wider region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We're going to take questions, but please keep it limited to one question each. Ask your question slowly and clearly, and let's start with that side. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Mr. Secretary General.
Well, one second.
Hello, welcome to Cyprus. Given your steadfast commitment to the United Nations Security... Hello. Hello. Given your steadfast commitment to the United Nations Security Council resolutions and the UN framework, as you have repeatedly affirmed, do you have considered the convening of a new expanded meeting to be a substantive step towards the resumption of the process? And what do you see as the role of the guarantor powers in these efforts? And if we have a deadline for the 5+1 meeting?
I have to say that I have the consensus of both sides and the guarantors to move into a 5+1 meeting, but with an adequate preparation. Preparation on confidence building, preparation on methodology, and preparation on substance, because I don't want to have more 5+1 meetings without result. I want a successful 5+1 meeting in order to pave the way for a solution to be achieved.
About the deadline?
It was not defined the deadline. We are going to work together as fast and as effectively as possible.
Thank you. Let's move to this side. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Mr. Secretary General, you say that methodological and substantive work will continue for a new conference. How should we interpret this? Can we expect any new initiative at the regular UN meetings in September in light of these efforts?
there is not a meeting on Cyprus scheduled for the high-level week. We are now concentrating our efforts in our common work with the two sides in Cyprus and with the guarantors in order to be able to move decisively into a solution.
Thank you. We probably have room for one more question, and after that, I please ask you to remain seated when we please go.
Thank you very much. Mr. Guterres, nothing is in isolation, operates in isolation in our part of the world now. As you had mentioned yesterday in your remarks, everything is interconnected, and I just wanted to ask, of course, the benefits of a Cyprus solution are obvious to Cypriots, but what would be the importance be for the region, for the wider region, for the guarantors, for our neighbors to the east even? What would a solution bring in the grand scheme of things?
This is a region in which we are witnessing important geopolitical movements, a region where we see a number of conflicts that persist not to end, and the region where we have seen how conflicts can be enlarged. And so I do believe that a solution in Cyprus is absolutely crucial, not only to preserve the interests and the peace of the Cyprus people, but also as a factor of stability in what is becoming a dangerously instable region. And I strongly suppose that a successful outcome in relation to a solution in Cyprus will have an important stabilizing effect in the region. On the other hand, if Cyprus has no solution for its problems, it becomes much more vulnerable to the risks that we are now witnessing in a region that is largely in flames.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
everybody.
much.
Thank you. We really apologize, but we have to move. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hayırlı olsun.